Hello, it's Father Samuel Hakim in Madison, Wisconsin, with a word of hope for Monday of the 25th week in Ordinary Time. Have you been tuning in to a word of hope since the very beginning? If so, you remember that we started this project as something to feed your faith and provide you with a bit of hope each day during the early stages of the pandemic. Those times when churches such as this had to close their doors and we were given stay-at-home orders. Well, a lot's changed since then, hasn't it? It feels like it was years ago, but it was just less than 2 years now that we had to close our doors. Being back here in Madison, where I was as an associate pastor during that time, brings back some of those memories. As I sit in an empty church preaching to a camera, as we did for many weeks. Yet, despite the fact that so much has indeed changed, despite the fact that churches are once again open and safely returning to Mass, it's surprising in some ways that the pews have not yet filled up again. Numbers in many of our churches are much smaller than they were in the pre-pandemic days. Where did these people go? It's similar to the story that we hear in today's first reading from the book of the prophet Ezra. It's the story of the return of the Jewish people back to Jerusalem at the end of the Babylonian captivity. You see, for 60 years they were exiled from their homeland, driven out, due to being captured by the king of Babylon. But King Cyrus of Persia, after conquering Babylon, tells the Jewish people they're free to go. Go back to your homeland. Go back to worship your God. Rebuild the temple in Jerusalem and reestablish worship there. Yet despite their freedom, a number of them don't return. After 60 years, they've kind of grown comfortable with a new mode of life, a new way of life. Must have been very confusing, very sad to see these people leave their faith behind. My concern is that some might do the same, from not having been engaged in their faith, not having been coming to Mass for over a year and a half. Perhaps you know someone like this who's been reluctant to return to Mass or has just sort of let faith go by the wayside. Well, what can you do to reach out to this person and invite them back? What role can you play in helping us to fill the pews once again? After all, we have a very wonderful, very beautiful gift in our faith, in the worship of our Lord and receiving Him in the Eucharist. And when we receive the Lord in the Eucharist, when we come together to worship, we realize who we are, and the love that God has poured into our souls. So I challenge you today to invite someone back to Mass, someone who's been reluctant to return, and help them to see the beauties and the blessings that we receive. God bless you.